point of art is not to reproduce reality, but to create a reality of the same intensity. This is the Art Express. Welcome to the show. Antoli is my name. New Direction, an exhibition of 7 great artists by Core Gallery, curated by Ugonna Ibekwe. Let's take a look.
The title of the exhibition is New Directions. So it features 7 artists from the Nsukka Art School, and the Nsukka Art School, which is the other name for the Department of Fine and Applied Arts, University of Nigeria Nsukka, is globally known for 2 things. Basically the Uli, which began with Uche Okeke's ideology of Uli and propagating. You have Obiojechukwu moving on with it to storytelling. You have Ologibe coming in at some point, and you have El coming in from Ghana to join them. Then with El, we now had a new evolution of Igwebike, that is the strength in multitude. So most of the artists moved forward with that to maintain a contemporary view, to maintain their impact in the contemporary art scene globally. So with Igwebike, we have the artists coming in to have minute things which would not have surfaced as artworks before to become artworks by binding, tying, gluing, different methods to make into massive artworks. So simply, this show now is simply featuring a younger generation of the Nsukka Art School who are using that principle, who are propelling that principle in with their different materials and mediums. So it's featuring 7 artists of the Nsukka Art School, and that's building on what Utamberg has already done with the new traditions of the Nsukka Art School by Utamberg.
Cole is pleased to present New Directions, a group exhibition that brings together 7 contemporary artists who have been trained at the University of Nigeria Nsukka within the Department of Fine and Applied Art. These artists represent innovative approaches to addressing global phenomena through a diverse range of mediums and artistic forms. They employ experimental processes to reimagine natural and found materials in symbolic ways, drawing inspiration from the Nsukka School's embrace of Igwebuike art ideologies and the Igbo belief in the strength of community and multitudes.
I have 3 works on display. I have this one right behind me is Before We Decided, and then I am also exhibiting Sunflowers and then Eyewitness Third Party. So the 2 artworks, basically the 2 artworks Before We Decided and Eyewitness Third Party are basically about the Igbo apprenticeship system. You know, that's the most interesting part of my work. That's the main story behind my work, the Akulono. Yeah, so it's talking about the agreement. In this particular artworks, I was trying to talk about how the agreement is made before an apprentice goes on to serve his master in the city. You understand how the agreement is made, the people involved, and what was said, what was agreed upon, and then the aftermath of what happens when things fall apart, like when at the end of the day, either the master betrays the apprentice or the apprentice makes away with some valuables of the master. So that's the entire story behind those 2 works.
Well, Nsukka has a long lineage of very important artists who have studied there and taught there. So there's really a tradition of artists who have been mentored by their professors over the years and really together have found a distinctive style. There's artists such as Uche Okeke, who founded the department in the 1960s. There's Ella Natsui, who led the department for over 30 years, and Ozioma Onuzulike, who led the department after that. All very influential artists who have taught their students who are now exhibiting here. And they're known for using found materials, using natural materials, and experimenting with different processes in different material ways. And so their works become really symbolic gestures of different social and political issues, but they play with techniques of abstraction and sculpture and installation and painting.
Still on the show, the African Artists Foundation, AAF, organizers of the Lagos Photo Festival, a non-profit organization dedicated to the promotion and development of contemporary African art, put together a press party at the Bogobiri Art Gallery to hint the public about the obstacles surrounding this year's edition of the festival.
In October of 2023, the family took possession through a court order of all of their properties, including 3A, 3B, Isholo, which we had acquired from the bank. We conducted thorough investigation into the matter to find out that the family have complete authority to do so. We approached the bank based on our agreement to indemnify us, based on the contract that we had signed, to refund the money that we had paid to them, and they refused. I have all the correspondence with the bank. They flat out refused. A breach of contract, knowing very well that if we send this to the court, they're going to use the shenanigans of the court until they all resign and retire. This is why I'm calling on the good people of the press to not allow criminality, not allow corruption, not allow this sort of evil to take place in our country. We have decided that we're going to focus our activities at the African Artists Foundation outside of Lagos for now, because we know that the work we're doing is super important. But at the same time, I think it's really important that we get to the truth of the matter. Journalists in this country, your job is to investigate and to report the truth. We are not here, you're not paid to propagandize and to represent one view. Please conduct your research. We will share all of the documents with you. And we want these people to be held to account. I think it's really important for the art scene. We have been working here for the past 15 years at the nearly 20 years at the African Artists Foundation, conducting festivals, conducting art competitions, residencies. We're an international, well-reputable organization working to promote the image of this country. How is it that now people go online and they see the African Artists Foundation is shut because of a situation that is totally out of our hands? We have done nothing wrong. We conducted due diligence, paid the agreed sum, met all the deadlines.
Founded by Azu Nwabubu, Lagos Photo Festival is the first international art festival of photography in Nigeria. Launched in October 2010, it is organized by the African Artists Foundation AAF as part of an ongoing project designed to use art in public spaces as a medium for increasing societal awareness. The Lagos Photo Festival, an annual international art festival of photography, which launched in 2010 and held in Lagos. Features workshops and classes for professional artists, art fairs, and indoor and outdoor exhibitions citywide. It also features emerging photographers alongside established photographers.
Wow, a really sad one there by the AAF, I must say. The AAF currently works from Benin Republic. Let's hope that things quickly gets back into shape. Okay, still to come, Fobali Art World Africa presents the 2024 Lagos Art Carnival, featuring art exhibitions, dance performances, games, and lots more. Let's go there.
I think it's wonderful. It's great. Wonderful and great. And very welcome indeed. It's a new development that during the Easter we should have this kind of carnival. So I like it very much. There are so many galleries showcasing very many artists. And that tendency is growing and growing, which means that we are improving and improving. And one should really at this point say a big thank you to the people who are instituting the galleries and showcasing the artists. Because without showcasing them, it's not so easy for them to survive. So we should thank the galleries and thank all the people that work with the galleries.
This is exciting because this is the first time a gallery will be gathering 500 artists from Africa. And that's why we are here. We want to see what Fobali World Art Gallery is doing to gather 500 artists from the continent of Africa, and that's exciting, and that's why I'm here. Yeah, that is talking about the creativity of the African artists. Artists in Africa are great. You can see some of these works, they kind of very enchanting, very thought-provoking, and so it is a good thing to be here. And sincerely, when even looking around, I see the multicolors, and it's speaking about the richness of African, heritage, and our hearts. Our hearts are kind of very rich. In fact, I dare say that Africa is the richest continent in terms of tradition and culture in the world.
In a bold and visionary move aimed at safeguarding and elevating African art and preventing the extinction of Africa's rich cultural heritage, Fobali Art World Africa is pioneering a 4-day festival where 500 artists from across Africa will exhibit their works for the benefit of art lovers, patrons, and other participants. Fobali Art World Africa said it is making substantial investments to ensure that African art doesn't only thrive, but gets global recognition to encourage artists to continue their creative pursuits.
Art for me is an expression of the human mind, the thoughts, as well as the intellect in its general form. Again, I believe that whatever exists physically today once existed, in the mind. And so for me, art is an expression of the thoughts, desires, and everything that, we think of, daily. And I think that this is just a replica and a depiction of all of those things that we have in mind. For me, art is not digital, right? beyond just the physical pieces down, you now also have it in their digital form. And those who are also producing these things also then begin to see that they have to transform to begin to utilize the new devices.
We call it Fubali Eastern Arts Carnival. It's a place of fun where we admire the creative visual arts that we have on board. So arts naturally actually is a way to conserve or archive women's story, culture, belief, traditions, and experience. At Fubali Arts World Africa, our slogan is Creative Art that mirrors life. So art is to preserve our heritage because it speaks to our day-to-day life. And when you look at every art, it has a story to tell about somebody's life experience or a community life experience or something that's happened in the past or what is happening or the way we do things. So it talks about culture of specific human race or human race generally. Either it's created in Africa or it's created somewhere else. It talks about human life experience. And that doesn't mean art does not talk to imagination. So people have imagination, but all the same, it still talk about the life and experience that we see around us. That is the beauty of art. So the people who are not here at this time, that come in the next 1,000 years, can know what will happened 1,000 years ago. We know now we talk about bringing back some of our arts that have been taken away, which speaks so you will see our culture, the way we used to dress before and all that, in some of those artworks that have been made 500 years ago, 200 years ago, 100 years ago. So it's bring back the past into the present. So that's the beauty of art.
My name is Johnson Ocheja. I'm a visual artist and also a photographer. I'm based in Kaduna and I'm currently having my solo exhibition here in Lagos. And my exhibition is titled The Pilgrim's Journey Through the Shades of Yellow. Well, art for me basically is self-discovery. It's a way, it was through art I was able to discover myself and I found purpose. My choice of color, yellow, it's basically because yellow for me represents my safe space. It represents happiness. And I wanted to also talk about how I was able to get to this safe space. So for me, if you check on all of my works, they are in different shades of yellow. And the different shades of yellow represents the different stages of my journey.
One of my favorite things is like art that is really bright, in color, and so I think I'm really excited by the use of color and like the textures, and also the title of the piece, A Pilgrim's Journey Through the Shades of Yellow. So I think it's interesting reading the what the artist has to say about their work, and then going and trying to find some of the themes that are there, like seeing like reoccurring pieces of furniture, a book, of foliage. Something that is really striking to me, I think, is just seeing women, like images of women and girls in very, very, very familiar settings, but also like I'm looking at each one and I'm connecting to it and thinking like, oh, this is the time of my life when this happened, or this is this person and this is this person. So I think what is really striking in each of the pictures is how each item, there's not many items in the pictures, but how each item is very evocative you can speak to it, like, what does this purse mean? What does this bag mean? What's happening in this person's life? And like, how are they holding this story of the yellow that, this artist has says, and like what the yellow means in like the pursuit of like, or the arrival of joy and happiness, and how does that yellow contrast with the rest of the setting? Like, what's going on in that person's life? So it's really striking. I think it's enjoyable to experience, but it's also very emotional,
Love it. Like, there's something about yellow that's so joyful. It like makes me feel very happy. So being able to see that, but then also to see there's something about the blue of the colors. I'm excited being here. I'm excited like seeing the art and like wondering if I could buy one. Like where in my house like I'd be able to put it. So I'm really happy and excited to see it. I think that they should learn there's beautiful art like to come and see, that there are many like activities and things to do in Lagos, and like seeing art is one of them. Like I'm so excited whenever I get a chance to come to Alliance Française and actually see everything they're putting together. So I think that viewers should know that there's beautiful art they can come and see, and even if you're not going to actually be able to get something, just to see it is wonderful.
For his debut solo, Johnson Ocheja makes his muse the pilgrim archetype. The pilgrim is typically associated with religious iconography, but the pilgrim is really anyone who seeks a deeper sense of purpose and significance in life. This question is ultimately the journey of the artist. The artist is first crushed by society and misunderstood before seeking a safe, often solitary space that may be seen as a pilgrim's journey. With a pilgrim's journey, through the shades of yellow, Johnson Ocheja is no longer trying to be an artist. He's actualizing his journey. Yellow is Ocheja's safe color, the color with fewer tones than green, but one that only represents happiness and joy. The purpose isn't merely about self, but also Ocheja's documentation and relative immortalization of his subjects.
This is such a lovely exhibition, and I really love the theme of the exhibition because it's something that we all experience. We're like pilgrim in the world and we go through different phases, and it's very lovely to see like a positive aspect of this journey that we go through, understanding the interaction from someone else's perspective and also seeing that in our own self. It's really beautiful.
Coming here today, I'm expecting to see the brain or see the mind of the artist, and I'm looking forward to actually having a good time interpreting some of the artworks that are actually exposed here. As a matter of fact, coming in, I could see the touch of yellow, which kind of speaks a lot about mood, happiness, and everything. So, coming from today's exhibition, I'm expecting to have like a bright mood, basically explaining and looking through the artworks.
The exhibition is basically about how the artist is trying to speak to how the destination is not the end point. The journey is very important. All of the works in the exhibition are basically about people that are close to him, and also the yellow that is emphasizing in his pictures represents happiness, because yellow is a vibrant color, it's the color of life, so it represents happiness for him, and it's, in simple words, it's just demonstrating how the destination is not the end point. You have to also enjoy the journey and also celebrate your victories and losses during the time of the journey as well.
Wow, creative isn't the way I think, it's the way I live. And that's too much we can take today on the Art Express. Now keep living creatively and keep a date with us same time next week.